Hello, everybody. This is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Tuesday evening to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in Game 4 of the NBA Finals for our NBA 2K22 Road to the NBA Finals series for the 12-13 Miami Heat series. So if we win today's episode, we will be crowned as NBA champions and we will sweep the 97-98 Utah Jazz in the NBA postseason. So LeBron James surprisingly has been the MVP for the last 3 episodes of the NBA Finals. And if he wins MVP, player of the game, for this one, he's going to likely be considered to be the NBA Finals MVP. So we won big time in Utah, 140 to 35. Well, 135 to 40 last episode. Hope we can do the same here this episode. So we'll show you the uniforms and we'll see you guys at tip off. So the Miami Heat are going to be wearing their white home uniforms on the road at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Meanwhile, for the Utah Jazz, they're going to be wearing their classic away 96 through 04 uniforms at home. So without a further ado, we'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, so this is Game 4 of the NBA Finals. This could be the final game of the NBA Finals if Miami wins it. So John Stockton at first loses the basketball, then he picks it back up. So John Stockton going to pass it over to the mailman Karl Malone. And Karl Malone does a nice spin move, so John Stockton gets the assist. So 53% in field goal for Karl Malone, averaging 25 points throughout the playoffs. And the Akron, Ohio native LeBron James hits a three. So now John Stockton has possession of the basketball, and he's going to pass it over, but that goes out of bounds. The 97-98 Jazz have possession of it. So Greg Ostertag going to pass it over to Byron Russell. So Russell, he's going to pass it over to Ostertag, and then Jeff Hornacek looks like he's going to pass it over to John Stockton. So Stockton, he is going to drill a three for the Jazz, and it is now going to be a 5-3 Utah lead. LeBron James hitting another three for the Heat, so it's now 6-5. So Stockton losing the basketball, but then Greg Ostertag picks it up, and then Stockton losing the basketball. LeBron James gonna make a slam dunk in the paint, so it is now 8-5. So first dunk of the game for LeBron James. So very talented. So Karl Malone gets it into the paint. So we're going to pass this one over to Shane Battier. So Battier gets this one in for two. So it's now 10-7. So Byron Russell going to pass it over to John Stockton. So now Mario Chalmers picking up the steal. Going to pass it over to Shane Battier. And Shane Battier gets it in. So it's now 12-7 with 2 minutes to go to end the first quarter. So now D-Wade makes the steal. And Dwayne Wade, he is going to get this one in the paint for two. Now it's 14-7, 21.7 points per game throughout the NBA postseason, and 3.6 assists per game throughout the postseason. So it's now 17-7. So this Miami Heat team looks red hot and unstoppable. So Stockton with the shooting foul. So this means Dwayne Wade is going to go to the free throw line for the Miami Heat. So Wade misses that. So it's now 19-7. And they're going to pass it over to the mailman Karl Malone. Gets it in there. And it's now 19-9. So we're going to pass it over to Ray Allen. He is going to knock a three down for Miami. and it's now 22-9. So we are going to take a break here in Salt Lake City. All right, so now 18 seconds are left in the first quarter, and we are going to pass this over to Dwayne Wade. So now D-Wade, he is going to knock a three down for the Heat, and it's now going to be 30-9. So Miami takes the 21-point lead on the road. Make that 23 since Wade made the steal and got the 2 points in the paint. So this Miami Heat team, they are looking more elite than ever. As the Utah Jazz attempt a half-court shot, it does not go through. But Miami leads this 32-9, end of first quarter. All right, so it's now 32-9 here at the Delta Center. So now the Akron, Ohio native knocks a three down, and it's now 35-9. So now LeBron James playing some elite defense here for the Heat. And LeBron James, he is going to make a steal. He is going to go up to the paint, makes that dunk. And it's now 37-9. So Miami, they are looking red hot on the road. Even though they were ranked to be the number one team to play in the finals, this is why they've been playing so elite right now. So 100% in field goals. LeBron James claimed his assist. So now Mike Miller, number 13, got pass it over to James, and Mike Miller picks up the assist. So it's now 41-9 here in Salt Lake City. The Heat are up by 32. So they're going to pass it over to Chris Morris. So Chris Morris, he's going to pass it over to Shannon Anderson, knocking a three down. So the Heat are going to take a timeout. We're actually going to take a short break here. All right, so we are back from the break. We are going to pass this one out to LeBron James. So now LeBron James hitting a three, and it's now going to be 49-12. So now Moore has possession of the basketball. So now he's going to pass it over to Adam Keefe, and he gets it in there for two. Now it's going to be 49-14. So we got LeBron James ready to hit a three for Miami. Actually misses that. So Jeff Hornacek has possession of the basketball. He loses it. So now Dwayne Wade, he is going to pass it over to Ray Allen and then to LeBron James hitting that three. And it's now 52-14. So the Heat are really playing some great basketball today. So they go in the paint. There is a foul. So we are going to go to the free throw line. Gets that one in. So it's now 55-14. 55 seconds are left. So now LeBron James making the steal for the Heat. And they are looking more red hot than ever. So 57-14. Miami is already up by 43. So nice block though by Juwan Howard, but evidently Utah has picked it up. So they're going to pass it over to Anderson and then over to Chris Morris, number 34. And there is a foul on Shane Battier, so it's a reach-in foul. So 30.7 seconds are left. So Greg Foster going to pass it over to the mailman, Karl Malone. So Karl Malone passing it over to Lewis. And then over to Foster. And then back to Malone. Gets it in there. And we're going to pass it over to the one and only LeBron James, Akron, Ohio native. Four-time NBA Finals MVP. So he only had two Finals MVPs by the time he was on the 12-13 Heat, because they won the Finals that season against San Antonio. They won that in a 4-3 deficit. So we're going to pass it over to Ray Allen, hitting the buzzer beater. We don't get it in, but it's now 62-16. It is halftime. All right, so now LeBron James had 31 points in the first half, 1 assist, and 6 steals on the day. So LeBron James hitting that slam dunk. It's now 64-16. And the Heat are leading this one on the road by 48. So now Jeff Hornacek losing the basketball, picking it back up. They do a spin move there, but it is a backcourt violation. So now Miami has possession of the basketball, which is good for us, though, because we really need this Larry O'Brien trophy. We've been earning it from episode 1. LeBron James, 35 points, 16 of which are in the paint today. So John Stockton hit a 3, going to pass it over to Karl Malone, and it is now 66-18. So Miami up by 48, make that 50 points. So we only need 32 to get 100. So Karl Malone has 10 points and LeBron James with 37, both scoring leaders for both teams today. So they're going to pass it over to John Stockton, and then Hornacek gets this one in the paint. And Juwan Howard going to pass it over to LeBron James. And now James getting this one in there for 2. So it's now 70-20. 39 points for LeBron James, 8 of which are in this quarter in particular. But Greg Ostertag has possession. Gonna pass it over to John Stockton. So now Stockton passing it over to Malone. And Malone gets it in there. And he's gonna pass it over to LeBron James. So LeBron James getting that one in there for 2. Now it's 72-22. So Stockton gonna pass it over to Ostertag, and then Stockton getting this one in there for 2. So it's now 72-24. He's gonna shoot a 3, and there appears to be an injury on LeBron James. Don't know what that could be all about, but we can manage the whole. If he doesn't return, we can manage the whole game without him, because we're still going to win the finals no matter what. We're going to pass this over to Rashard Lewis, getting that in there for 2. Now it's 77-24, and they have possession, dribbling the basketball, going to pass it over to Byron Russell, hitting that 3 for Utah. So now Dwayne Wade going to make that dunk happen. So it's now 79-27. So there's a minute 16 left in the third quarter. And Wade is going to make a steal. He is going to make an elite dunk. Now it's 81-27. And we'll see you guys after the shot clock is over, when it's 24 seconds left in the third. All right, so here we are in the third quarter. We're almost done with the third quarter. But from what it seems like, I was doing depth chart substitutions here, and LeBron James was not an option to put in for now. But he's going to be a unanimous decision to be a winner for our NBA Finals Larry O'Brien trophy distribution. But this ends the third quarter here. Miami up 91-33. We'll show you the, I think, State Farm assist of the game. I don't know if they still have that for the classic teams or not, but we'll still show you it if we have it. All right, your State Farm assist of the game is coming right up. Mario Chalmers going to pass it over to Rashard Lewis. So this is now fourth quarter action here in Salt Lake City, Utah, as the Miami Heat are up 91-33. So all we need is 3 more threes to have at least 100 points. So we're going to pass it around. Going to use some Mike Miller hitting a 3. So it's now going to be 94-33. to 33. And there's 3 minutes and at least 30 seconds left. 20 steals for Miami, so they're a quick hustling team out on that court. So they are for sure to be granted that NBA Finals trophy. So now our bench is outscoring the 97-98 Utah Jazz bench by 8. Now make that 10 with the Udonis Haslem dunk. And it's now 96-35. So they're going to pass it over, make that dunk happen to Antoine Carr. So we're going to use some Mike Miller and then back to Udonis Haslem, getting that one in there. So it's now going to be 98-37. So the Utah Jazz are down by 61, make that 59 points. And we're actually going to take a timeout for our depth chart substitutions. All right, so it's now 98-33. Dwayne Wade going to pass it over to Shane Battier. And will Shane Battier hit over 100 points for the Miami Heat scoring for Miami's 100th point? Yes, they are. So they're going to get this one in the paint. So it's now 101-41. So he has a severe right ankle sprain. So no, he is not going to be able to return for the remaining of this episode. But in other words, we're less than 2 minutes away from winning the NBA championship for our 12-13 Miami Heat series. So I was going to consider doing a series 2 for the current teams, but I'm not going to do that anymore because I'm more focused on the classic teams, and I will probably do the all-time teams this August, so probably the week of August 7th. So August 7th falls on a Sunday this year in 2022, so it gives me some type of basketball to entertain to during the NBA off season. So NBA off season is from June through October. So my birthday falls in the late off season. So there's no NBA games played in September because it's mainly football season there. So now Greg Foster going to pass it over to Moore and then back to Morris. So a minute, 19 seconds ago, Antoine Carr has possession, going to pass it over to Moore, gets that one in. So it's now 110-47 with 110 to go in the fourth quarter. And Dwayne Wade is going to hit a 3. And it's now 113-47. All right, so LeBron James is your player of the game. This was a unanimous selection because he did end up having the twisted right ankle injury, so he made elite plays throughout this NBA postseason, and it was really fun having LeBron James as our main player. I mean, he literally had, for the player of the game, we had LeBron James as our player. So 20 seconds are left.
You got to play much smarter than that. Battier outside.
And the Miami Heat are your NBA Finals champions.
The Miami Heat are the new NBA champions. Well, they did it. And as they celebrate, you can just see the relief, the exhilaration that comes with winning it all. And Clark, you have to hand it to the entire organization. They work together to get right here.
And guys, what a reward for the fan base. I mean, I know one thing. They're going to enjoy this memory for a long, long time.
And we have enjoyed our time with you folks all season long. This is Kevin Harlan saying so long. Have a wonderful summer.
So LeBron James is claimed to be Finals MVP and holding the Larry O'Brien trophy at the same time. So this has been an excellent celebration for the 12-13 Miami Heat. So they were going to definitely be #1 champions from game 1 of the Eastern Conference first round playoffs against the 99-00 Raptors. LeBron James 44 points, 1 assist, 5 dunks on the day. He had a severe right ankle sprain, so he left the game. Dwayne Wade 29 points, 2 assists on the day, 3 dunks. Ray Allen 12 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal. Mike Miller had 9 points in all with 4 assists. Karl Malone 12 points in all, had a dunk there. John Stockton had 7 points. So this ends it here. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a memorable season for the 2K22 Road to the NBA Finals series for the 12-13 Heat Classic Team Series. This was for sure one of my favorite classic teams that I really liked to play as, and I can't wait to do more. We're definitely going to do all-time teams this August, so thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in one of our next future classic teams. So like we're gonna finish up the 88-89 Pistons NBA Finals, 95-96 Bulls, 07-08 Celtics. So we'll see you guys then.